Hello, my name is VSin, and this is a snapshot of Rainbow Moon. Now, Rainbow Moon came out on the PlayStation Vita in December 2nd, 2013. This actually came out on the PlayStation 3, I believe. I forgot exactly when. So this is just a port of the game. I'm not 100% sure on what features are different. I believe because there's the cross-save feature, it is a direct port. Oh yeah, new game continue, load cross-save, can't do it because I have no internet here. And store, again, I have no internet here. Store, I believe, is DLC. Cross-save is just load the cross-save. Before we continue, I'm going to go into new game and point out a couple quick features here. Now, obviously, normal, hard difficulty. Normal is just normal stats. Hard is higher stats. Oh, I'm just going to go through here and not actually create anything. Now, playstyle is starting mode. Starting equipment. So, you see, careful and secured, all characters will get some startup equipment, that's it. You'll receive some rainbow coins, you have some items so you can buy starting items. Forward looking is, you get a few consumable items, and adventuresome is, you start with nothing. I would just like to bring up something about adventuresome though. Obviously you start off with no items, you start off with only the worst weapon in the game and no armor. But what does happen is about like 4 or 5 hours into the game, you get a massive amount of gold, at least for that point in the game, and you can use that gold to buy all the skills you want, so that's pretty nice. Other than that, after that setting, let's start with the settings, it's just difficulty and playstyle, that's it. So I'm going to continue my save file here now. I'll show you this. Yay, I'm in Castle Temwall, 7 hours 47 minutes. Not too bad. Obviously, from what I've heard, this is an extremely grindy game, so in essence, this is what I would consider as a 1,000-hour game. So here you go, here is Rainbow Moon, or at least one of the dungeons in Rainbow Moon. Oh crap, I don't have a torch active, let's do that first. Actually, you know what, let's use a skill. Active, magic light, and cast it twice. Alright, so this is Rainbow Moon. You can see this sort of aesthetic here. As you can see, that's my character in here. Press triangle to open the menu. Yes, triangle. Start pauses the game, by the way. Select, I have no idea why, but select does nothing except for in the menus it does sort. I wish I could have rebound that to something, but whatever. So let's go into the menus here first. All the way to the start here. Status. HP, MP, strength, defense, speed, luck. Does more or less what you expect. Speed is for turn speed, basically interval between actions you can take. It's turn-based, but speed will increase or decrease your ability to do more moves. Status, you can see rainbow coins. It's that circle on the bottom left side. That is I wouldn't even call it a currency. It's more like, it's kind of like stat points, where you need so many to increase one of your stats by 1. To the right of that, the 3 out of 5, that is skill points. Skill points let you equip passive skills. You can have unlimited actives on any given character, assuming you can afford all the skill books, but passives is limited by that skill point value. Overall XP, it's what you'd expect it. Bias is one of the ways that the game determines how much damage will be dealt. Because basically, high physical bias will deal more damage to high magical bias, I believe, but lower damage to high physical bias. Basically, dealing damage to the same bias type, unless balanced, is rough, will deal slightly less. Also, it auto pauses if you wait for too long. Conditions on the right corner, on the bottom right corner, that's just all the status conditions. Equipment, you have all these various equipment slots. You have weapon, hat, body. And then these two are usually empty. You need to unlock a skill in order to equip this amulet. So this amulet gives you +1 to all stats. These all have various stats. You can also reinforce the weapons. So you can see here, you have 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's change to aura. You can see that Holly Shell is 2 of 2 because I enhanced it. Now let's go back to me for a bit. You can see all the various stats, what happens if you do it, whatever. Recovery items, mostly what you'd expect. Let's sort this out. So, potions, MP restore, status restores, There's a limited number of slots. This can be upgraded, obviously. Same goes for miscellaneous items. This is slightly different. Torches will light up dungeons and the world during dark dungeons, because dungeons are always dark, and the world if the world is nighttime. There is a day and night system in this game. You only really notice it outside. The only two important things off the top of my head are, apart from the darkness, are shops will close at 1600 hours game time until 0200 hours game time. And monster spawns monster random encounters occur more frequently at night. The nice thing about random encounters, though, is that they're not actually mandatory. You can just skip them. You're basically the option to opt into them. These are bits and pieces of food here. You can see that you have various. You have the food bar. If the food bar drops below 50%, then they will, I believe, deal less damage, at least from what I've noticed. Let's eat some melons. No, you don't mind melons right now. You have these two items down here. These are the buff items. 4 game hours, 1 game hour. Just have to emphasize that. I believe buffs only affect a single character, though, so there's that. Skills. Active skills. You see these 4 on the right here. These are the damaging, at least the battle skills. So you can see here that you have various. If you look in that bottom left corner, you can see the grid. You can see how the shape changes every single time I pick a different skill. You can see, first of all, ally field is if an ally has to be standing there. Target field, an enemy or target has to be standing there. Free field, the field has to be empty, as in you cannot have anything there. And movable field is your ability to move the field around. Here, I'll show you Eldrat here. So you can see the blue area, that's the field that you can move around in. I'll have to show you this in combat, and then Hydrobite, again, you know, all that stuff. I'll have to show you these in combat because it's actually interesting to look at, and I do have a small gripe with it. And passive skills, I only have passive skills on VSIN, so whatever. So you got this blocker passive. This passive basically takes half of your attack and puts it into defense, I believe, or something like that. Obviously, don't always want it. Initial strike is just first strike has double damage. Pretty neat. All skills obviously can display all skills. Group is your party. You can set leaders, set companions. The only thing that particularly matters here is that you can see all these various formations. These are the formations that you get when you start the battle. Off the top of my head, you only have a maximum of 3 companions at any given moment, but you can change them out. So standard attack is back line. Safe cover is your leader stands in front and everyone's behind them. Standard attack 2, I'm probably going to use that right now. That just puts it 1 unit forward. And the main quest, you see this main quest I've got here. Side quests, got a bunch of side quests. For the most part, most of these are fetch quests, like Life's of Stones, yeah, fetch it. Fetch, hunt, fetch. I haven't seen a single escort quest yet, but it's mostly hunt and fetch. Even the main quest is just hunt, fetch, do dungeon, basically. Save, load, delete for your save files. And you can notice, of course, if you paid attention for that split second, you can see how this thing actually works. It's basically sound music on off, but there are, I believe, 4 different states. Both enabled, music enabled, sound effects on. Sound effects off, music enabled, both off, both on. Now, that is a little bit bare bones. I will say that the balance between sound effects and music seems to be pretty decent, so it's not a problem. And I get that this is an indie game, so it's understandable that they wouldn't be able to, like, they might not have prioritized sliders. I don't mind that too much, but even so, it's a little bit disappointing. Grid mode A, B. This game uses the diagonal grid that, say, Final Fantasy Tactics uses. So in order to say up. So grid mode B, upper right corner. When you press up on the pad, it'll move it towards the upper right corner. Mode B moves it to the upper left corner. I put it to the upper right because I'm used to that. Let's get out of here. Let's do some fighting, shall we? This is only one enemy, because I only just got to this point. Now, let's see. I have no idea what's happening with these guys. Now, bottom left corner, you can see 1 of 3 turn. What the heck does that mean? That, I believe, is, at least I consider it to be the unique feature of the battle system. It's a sub-turn system. Because I'm on my turn, this is my character's single turn. But I can do up to 3 actions. So you can see I can this move option here. I move once. You can see how this shrinks down, and I have 2 sub-turns left. What I can do, of course, then, is I can defend item. By the way, defend ends your turn immediately, but still. You can use a skill, so X-ray review. X-ray review doesn't consume side turns, so let's see what the heck's going on with this guy. Magical MP type HP. Alright, so you can see, for example, now let's see this Earth Crutcher skill. Now, what the heck is going on with this? First of all, the skill is centered around that arrow indicator. You can press square to rotate, and you can see it flies around like this. Now, what happens if I use the pad? Obviously, 3 directions don't work, but if I shove it back, you can see that the hitbox moves to there. Similarly, I can do it like this. And you can see that the hitbox changes. This, I think, is actually really unique, because most other games do not let you do this sort of hitbox. Most other games, it's either you plonk down a hitbox and it hits, like, everything in this basic area. But this, on the other hand, does a very interesting way of covering your hitboxes. So, I'm going to start trying to deal damage to this person. However, I'm going to show you the hitbox that I actually think is really confusing. Painful aim. Like, Hydra Bite isn't too bad, you know? You just move it forwards and backwards. You just can't land it 1 unit in front of you, but otherwise it goes forwards. However, this is actually a second one I don't like. Because you'll notice, of course, that this only has 4 squares of influence. These 4, if you follow the orange, those 4 squares of influence, well, 5 squares of influence there. Those are your 5 squares of influence. But every other game on the planet would just simply have a line that goes from, follow the orange square for this one, goes from basically that line there to there. And they just have an orange line there and say you can hit anything on this area. And if you move, you can hit anything on that area. I get that they're trying to do this sort of centered orientation thing, but for the archer in particular, like, for example, painful aim. This is the part where it gets really crazy. You see the big blue area, it's like, oh, I can hit everything in there, right? Nope. You notice, of course, there's this here. Now, if you follow the orange trace really closely, you can see that's making a Tetris T block sort of shape. In reality, the hitbox of this move is actually 2 units forwards of the big blue outline. It's really, really awkward, like for skills like this. However, there are also situations where it works out really well. You can see, for example, this guy, Aura. Let's use Piercing Charge. You can see you have this hitbox, but the neat thing is, you can shift it like this. You can also extend the range forward by 1. Let's move it over here. So you can shift it side to side. And you could actually have a massive area of influence, potential area of influence. Oh, that's going off screen now. But it can only hit up to 3 targets. I actually like this idea in this regard. Also, as a newbie proofing, you cannot hit allies in the orange area. You have to tilt the skill like this. I'm going to execute this skill and show you the skill cutscene. So everyone flies into the air. You get this crazy looking cutscene. Personally, I'd accuse this of being Disgaea style, but for the most part, I actually appreciate the cutscene length, just because if it was one of those insanely long, fly into the air, do crazy charge-up moves, yell, crash, explosion, flashbang, enemy flies into the sky, crashes back down. Like, an animation that long would be painful to watch in a game that already advertises itself as a grind fest. I'm just going to finish off this enemy with way too much SP cost. Oh, yay. Like, it's not unreasonably long, yet at the same time, it takes longer than a basic attack. So whatever. Victory. I get no items from this, so... Obviously, everyone gets XP. Of note, though, is a rainbow coins. You can see the circles, circle plus 0, circle plus 0, circle plus 1. Rainbow coins are only awarded to people who kill monsters. Everyone gets XP. I believe that the XP is not split, so that means that no matter how many party members you have, you will always get the same amount of XP per party member, which is pretty nice. It makes it less punishing to level characters up. Yet at the same time, rainbow coins is independent of XP, and you have to actually get killing blows for it. So let's move on. This is the first time I've been through this dungeon, by the way, so let's get into another fight here. 3 enemies. Hopefully I can get into a fight with 8 enemies here. Well, let's see. Oh man, bad bees. I hate these things. Guard. I'll just attack this thing over here. This thing will waddle over. Oh man, it goes after me. Hey. Another thing is enemy priority. I'm not 100% sure how this works, but they seem to either go after... Like, I have no idea how aggro works, actually. I've played this for a little while, but I can't figure it out yet. Basically, from what I've noticed about aggro, it will either go after your main character for no apparent reason, or it will go after your weakest character. I'm not sure what exactly determines this. Like, I really can't figure out, because sometimes I can have the entire army chasing after my main character until the end of time. While other times I will have them all bum rush, and then sometimes I, like, oops. And other times I will have, like, them sort of but not really aggro to my main guy, but then hit my third person. Like, I don't know how aggro works in this game. All I've really figured out is that some enemies like to chase certain allies, and other ones like to chase other allies. I don't know. It makes it a little bit annoying to try and manage aggro, but whatever. Also, something you may have noticed with the maps is that there are no... That maps, for the most part, are fairly plain and lacking in terrain. Like, you get this grid, you see that block in the middle. Oh man, lasers. Ugh, crap, bound? Really? Alright, so I have to send you over here. Just defend. Star's Fury. Takes up way too much SP, but I just want to get rid of you. So, finish you. Let's see. Move like that. Yep, there we go. And defend again. Oops. Move command, attack. Yeah, sure, let's use the fancy animation. Alright, do it again. What I dislike about the attack animations, though, is that well, you notice, of course, that I had to spam that twice in a row, right? That is actually my gripe with the attack animations. Because the sub-turn system I absolutely love. The ability to do attack, move, attack. Something as simple as that, and I absolutely love the sub-turn system. The ability to do something like that on a single turn, I think you won't properly appreciate if you haven't played a lot of SRPGs. And I have played quite a few SRPGs. And I'm going to skip all these random encounters for now. Hey, look, another rest spot. Yeah, for some reason there are a whole bunch of random people in the middle of these dungeons who will heal you and stuff. That's neat. Let's talk to the Savant. I'll start raising stats using Rainbow Pearls. Let's get Platoon Defense. Eldrat. Damn it. Oops. Or, 2 points in luck. Sure. Alright. Now let's get to some small gripes. You'll notice, of course, that I'm changing these characters. Why am I bringing this up with a gripe? Look in the bottom left corner next to VSIN level 14. Triangle plus L or R. I find that to be a really awkward button combination. Like, you have to hold down triangle and then press L or R. I don't know about you, but I can't think of a single game on the planet that does that. Most of them do hold R and then press triangle. As you can see, that actually does work, because you notice you can just hold down both. But for like the first 6 hours, I found that so awkward to use. Why would you triangle LR? For crying out loud, you have this, like, you have an unbound select button that doesn't do anything except sort. Why not you're going to do something like this, and you only have 3 characters, so that's not really a problem either. Like, couldn't you have used select? Couldn't you have used, like, one of the analog sticks? I get that this isn't the PlayStation 3, so you can't have L2R2, L3R3. But it just seems like such a strange binding. I mean, another gripe is that the battle window, like, you saw the menu, maybe you saw the menu in the bottom left corner. Every other SRPG I've ever played lists all of your options visibly on the screen every time you want to try something. That one does it with a scrolling menu? It's just an unnecessary learning curve. Like, couldn't they have done the big pop-up menu that every other SRPG on the planet does? It would have been less confusing. Oh, let's just refresh gelatin. Let's see, where the hell am I? Is there anything this way? No, there's nothing this way. And there's nothing that way either. Alright, onwards we go. Maybe I'll run into a boss or something. So, also you can notice the crap. Okay, you notice that slightly grayish blockish thing behind the gelatin. Those are pressure plates. Just as a note, you have to walk on them and they open the door. No, we have to get into this fight first. God, I hate bad bees. Let's go here. Defend. Move here, move there, okay. Move. Ah, crap. Also, another one of my gripes. For some reason, you have to wait for the entire animation to end before you can do the... before you can input another action. That actually pisses me off to no end. Like, it really does. Because, like you just saw there, I screwed it up. I've done that several times. Like, I'm used to being able to move, cancel, action, go. No, you had to wait for the entire animation to end. Maybe it's just me, because maybe it's because I think faster than other people, or some crazy thing like that, but it's a personal bugbear. I can't get over it in this game. And that's also, by the way, the reason why I hate games like Final Fantasy Tactics. Because as much as I like to claim that I like SRPGs, like, all this animation lag, like having to wait for the units to do every single bloody thing, it annoys me a lot. So whatever, cleave those guys to death. 2, 3, there you go. Move. Whatever. Let's use an item. Small potion. Defend. And yet at the same time, despite my griping about animations, you know what I don't like? The lack of healing animation. That's another bugbear. Because you get that little pop-up that says that, oh, I healed myself. But like, you never really get the visual satisfaction of, haha, my health is increasing. Oh, crap. Did not expect that. Alright. Take care of you. And then cut this blob to pieces, and that should do it. Alrighty then. Step on the pressure plate, get through here, access the bag. Use that. Who's low on food here? And then, of course, you can use items as soon as you pick them up. So that's actually a pretty nice feature as well. Also, it's there to save you inventory space. A lever. That goes where? Oh, that goes back to the starting area. Back to the beginning. Yeah, that's convenient. What the heck is that golem? Oh, whatever. Okay, anywhere else I need to go? Looks like that's the only way I'm going. Skip the monodrone. Bad bees. More bad frickin' bees. Here, let's just burn a whole bunch of SP on that. In case you haven't been noticing though, there is voice acting in this game. I think it's actually really, really, really low quality. Thankfully though, it only actually happens during battle scenes, so you don't have to worry too much about it, but still. Let's see here. Piercing charge. Alright, and then you just nuke this guy. Defend. 1, 2, 3. Don't split. Okay, good, doesn't split. And then just hack this guy down. There we go. Yeah, thankfully, because I've managed to dig up a ton of gold, I managed to get a lot of weapons. Which is nice. Yep. My light ran out. Let's see. Oh, that looks like the boss. Nothing else in this area, I assume? Nothing else in this area. Well, let's see what happens. After this battle, I'll probably cut it off, but still, let's see what happens. You know what? I'm paranoid. Boost of will. Well, let's save. Just to be on the safe side. Here we go. Level 22 Red Death. Boss fight. Oh boy. 1, 2... Defend. Alright, let's see what happens. I would not be surprised if I explode horribly, but whatever. Get her back, because everyone's going to be bum rushing her. I'll need to get aura on all the slimes. Alright, skill, piercing charge again. Yay, I love this hitbox. You can shift it over. Get the hitbox over there. Let's see how much damage. Okay, let's cleave him down then. Alright, see what happens. Crap, why did they have to multiply? God fucking damn it. Alright, move, skill, Star's Fury. Just try to deal with all the ads before I have to deal with the boss. And then defend. The reason why I keep defending, by the way, is because these guys will actually hit me like a truck if I don't defend. Damn it, I'm gonna lose them, aren't I? Yep. Skill. Well, this just became ugly. Move, get him out of the way. Looks like I had to do what I always do. Solo it with my one main twinked character. Alright, so hack slash defend. By the way, items on the ground actually the game, for some reason the game treats them as move blocks. I have no idea why, but there you go. That bag thing on the ground is actually terrain right now. I have no idea why they designed the game that way, but there you have it. Basic attack, basic attack. Okay, attack, attack, defend. See how hard this guy hits. Shouldn't hit too hard. Oh, crap. Hits for 33 through my guard? Fuck. And he hits me 3 times. That's nice. And I even have the buff. Whatever. Okay, start pick off who I can with this girl before she dies a horrible death. Okay, let's try this. Actually, extra review. How much health does this boss have? 2,500. Oh man. Okay, I have to use an item now. And defend. Let's see. Okay, might as well just try to get rid of these guys as fast as possible. And then defend. Alright. She goes down for the count. Okay, move. Grab the mushroom. Skill. Star's Fury. Cleave these 2 down. Please don't multiply. Please, for the love of God, don't. Oh, fuck. Okay. Naturally, though, I'm well in over my head because, you know, this is a level 22 boss. Okay, move, skill, another Star's Fury. Cleave these 2. Defend. This guy's gonna Goomba stomp me for like 40 damage. Ah, boy. Item, small potion, okay. Defend. Damn it, I even have my defense buff up. I'm going down next turn, aren't I? Okay, I'm gonna have to shield bash this. Item. I'm going down. Defend. I'm not dead! Hooray! Why did you multiply again? Why? Why would you multiply again? Screw it! Leroy Jenkins! Hey. Deal as much damage to the boss as possible for the door dying a horrible and grisly death. Yay. Well, as you can see there, I didn't grind enough, so yay. Also, when you fail, your party members end up completely dead. Also, you don't get any experience for it, which is why I saved there. Yay. Oh, let's just reload. But other than that, let's get to the verdict, shall we? Would I recommend this game? It's a little bit tricky because here's the thing. This game is a grindfest SRPG, and while it does have combat depth in the form of the sub-turns, this is the PlayStation Vita, and we have quite a bit of competition in that regard. Like, Final Fantasy Tactics, as much as I don't like it, I appreciate that a lot of people do. Tactics Ogre, let's see here, Gunganir, Yu-Gi-Oh! Union, Knights in the Nightmare, if you want to call it that. Other platforms have competing SRPGs, like Fire Emblem. Let's see here, I heard Project X Zone was actually pretty good, but whatever. All that crazy stuff. There's a lot of SRPGs out there. And the only thing I would really say that really puts Rainbow Moon above its competition are only two aspects: the sub-turn system and, well, the price. The base price is $15. You can get $7.50 off if you own the PlayStation 3 version as a cross-buy promotional. PlayStation Plus members also get $3 off. So combine the deals, and you can get this game for as low as $4.50. But even so, it's cheaper. But again, you're going up against the PSP library for the PlayStation Vita, and it has direct competition on the PlayStation Vita in the form of Disgaea 3. Because in my opinion, Disgaea 3, apart from the sub-turn system, does everything that this game does better. It's a grindy game. It has far more replay value. Like the aesthetic is ambiguous, you know? I mean, you know, do you like how things look? Well, that's entirely up to you, but still. It's just like, I would be hard pressed to justify this unless you're a hardcore SRPG fan and are someone who has already exhausted all of the other options on the PlayStation Vita. Because, again, one of the things that a lot of bigger reviews will say is that the story is crappy. And for the most part, I would agree. The story is, well, the grammar is actually pretty terrible. Like, granted, it is called East Asia Soft. You guess where they made this, so I'm not expecting the best grammar in the world. The grammar is pretty terrible in the storyline. The storyline itself is completely bland and dry, and maybe you end up saving the world in the end, but this is completely uninspired right now. The pointless references like, hey, comic book collection. I don't know. Like, again, like, I could really have wrapped it up right there. TLDR. This is for SRPG fans who exhausted all of their options, and really nobody else. My name has been Vison. Thanks for watching.